So in previous two chapters, we learned about exporting trees for VFX and game applications. That was a manual way, but there is a plugin for each software that makes the process a bit easier. For example, setting up the materials a way to be more useful or creating a good wind and things like that. And to get that plugin, you need to go to the Speedtree folder in the installation folder. So this is our Speedtree directory. And to get those plugins, you simply need to go to a scripts folder. So there are plugins for Max, for Blender, Maya, Houdini, and every software that you use. So now we're going to experiment with the Blender. So there's a zip file in here, and we need to copy the direction and go into Blender to install this add-on. So as always, when installing an add-on, you hit go to Edit, Preference, and in this add-on, click on this install and head over to the directory that it has and install it, and you need to activate it. So it has installed, and to get that you simply need to go to File, Import, and this Speedtree. So I'm right clicking and adding to quick favorites so that when I hit Q, I'm able to access it. This is a small shortcut that I love to have. And the add-on is looking for STMat file, which stands for Speedtree material. And upon export, if you export everything, for example, even as FBX, it's going to export a separate STMat file to be read as the add-on for that. So we're going to take export from this. As always, I'm going to create a new one and call it add-on. And I'm going to export as FBX and hit save. And with all of the settings as default, I'm going to hit OK and OK again. So exporting done, and now let's go to Blender, and you either want to go to File, Import, or using the shortcut that we have created. And this is our export, this is the FBX file, and these are the textures, and we have also a STMat file created for us. And actually, no matter what format you export in, the STMat file is going to always be there. So I copied this add-on folder and copied it here, and this is the STMat. So you hit import STMat, and it imported the mesh successfully for us. And remember that before saving, I went and changed the unit as well. You see the unit is in here in centimeters. As always, I went to scene unit conversion, converted the units from feet to centimeters, and then went on and did the preference and set it to centimeters as well. And it's a good practice always to set this one before starting the project, so that later on you do not create any problem. So here in Blender it has been set up, and it works in both EV and cycles at the same time. It created a complex material for us. Let me go in here and bring up the shader editor. And you see this is the material that it created, and this is the material for the bark as well. And it created a decent material that works with both EV and cycles at the same time, and the mesh is already set up for us very good. And you're ready to go and populate the scene using this mesh. So the next software that we're going to use is 3ds Max. And to get the plugin, you simply go again to scripts and to this 3ds Max. And I copy the folder, and then you go to scripting and run script. And go to the folder where that plugin has been installed, .ms file. So hit open, and then in the utilities tab you get this Speedtree importer. And the first option is import, which is importing just for the regular Speedtree and 3ds Max usage without any external renderer. The next one is for Arnold, V-Ray, Redshift, or Corona. And depending the usage, you click one of them and import the STMat file which it created for you. So now for Corona, we hit import and go to the direction where we saved the previous file which we imported to Blender as well. That has the STMat file. So hit import, and it's going to calculate a bit and then import that for you without any problem. And this now has been imported for Arnold, for Corona. And if you select leaves, for example, and go to the material editor, in this bar right here, you can import the material editor and hit pick from object to get the material in work. So this is the material that it has created for Corona. And let me delete it again. And this time we're going to have a regular import for 3ds Max without any external renderer. So hit import and import this. And this is what we get, just like the previous one. So I'm selecting it and going to the material editor again. And this is the material now for 3ds Max. Let's take it. And now the material has been selected for 3ds Max. So this is it, depending on your external. And for other softwares as well, you can go in here and choose the plugin and install it the way you install the plugin in that software. So finally we reach to the end of chapter 4 as well, which we talked about the Speedtree interaction with other softwares, and now the lessons are done. So I'm going to end this chapter right now and see you in the next chapter.